Hi, welcome to Wednesday. We're doing Wednesday because Sarah's on Sewing Street tomorrow. So the plan is that you already have had her for 2 hours, so you're not going to want me as well. So I'm here today instead. So hi, we are doing a umbrella holder for the car. And we're doing it with a bit of vinyl as well, so that it's supposed to collect, stop the water. I don't know if it's going to work because it's going to work. It's going to work because it's planned. I've planned it out, but I haven't actually made one. So this is a where Sarah goes, what if on her, what if I take this block and cut it up and make it into this block, and mine is what if I do this. And I planned it out last night, and then it was a bit late and everything, all my pain meds had all sort of kicked in by then, and I can't think straight. I'd planned it out and that was about it. So what we're going to do is if I go over into going up towards 2 o'clock, we're going to stop and we'll do part 2 next week, okay? Which means that I get a week where I don't have to think about it, so that's good. Always good. It's been busy. Sewing Street have now decided that you can't take that on this month, you've got to take it on that month. So Anne and I are now like cutting like demons in the shop to try and create a new kit to go on, which was supposed to go on next month. So we thought, we don't have to cut that, and now we have to cut it. I sound a little bit manic here, don't I? Right, okay, what was I going to tell you? I went on and had a look at Just Giving just before I came over. We had 2 ladies send us money through the post. Thank you very much, ladies. So I've put that on top of the total. So far for our Heart Foundation thing that we did on Sunday, and if you haven't watched it, you've got 12 hours of superior watching to go on. You can go and watch that. Yes, it's a superior watching. We have taken £2,372 so far. You still can contribute if you would like. So yeah, did we do well? Sort of puts on a thing for next year, so we're going to have to try and beat that next year. So we'll have to come up with something different. Hiya, Jules and Nikki and Jean Baker. How lovely to see you all. Jeannie, I saw you booked onto one of our workshops. Brain's going already. Onto one of our workshops, so it would be lush to see you. Right, what am I doing? Let me talk you through what I have in my head, let alone anything else, okay? So let's start with that. So we're going over to here. Hi, Leslie, how are you? Right, so I wanted... See, it goes over 4 pages. I decided it was going to be 10 inches at the top and 4 inches at the bottom. Okay, so I drew my line and then I joined up from the top all the way down to the bottom. Okay, on both sides. So that is going to be the size of my back piece. Now the front piece, right? Because you're going to slot your umbrellas in between the back piece and the front piece. Okay, so the front piece needs to be slightly bigger. So I've put 1 inch on this side and 1 inch on that side to make that bigger. Then this vinyl piece in the front, see, are you with me so far? This vinyl piece in the front is going to fold up, and I've got cam snaps here, and it's going to cam snap and hopefully hold any drips from your umbrella in, and then you can open it and give it a shake, and it's all going to fall out the bottom. That's the idea. They are coming up on my reels. There, you can buy them out there. Now, I think the best thing to make this from is an old umbrella. Sarah just said, or a shower curtain. Didn't even cross my mind, which is strange. So I'm going to use plain fabric and a vinyl because we sell it in the shop. But it might be a thought that if you're going to do something like this, that you use a shower curtain. You don't need then the vinyl, the extra vinyl and everything, or an old umbrella because you already know that that's waterproof. So yeah, so the same sort of idea. I mean, you can come up with your own idea. I'm just giving you ideas, okay? I have scanned this before anything happened to it. So I have scanned it. It could do with being a bit darker, but I've scanned it so that if you do want my template and my workings out, then you can certainly have them. I will put them on the website somewhere. Okay, so you're booked onto the patchwork jacket workshop. Lovely. Choose your fabric. What I would say, Jean, is you need to have your sheet of fabric put together before you come, sandwiched and everything and quilted. So if you're going to do it in squares, you need to sew all your squares together and sandwich and quilt, because it's only a one-day workshop. So you need that quilted bit done, or buy pre-quilted fabric from one of the shows. That can work as well. Anything you want to know, give me a ring anyway. Hiya, Patricia, how are you? And Marlene, could you use a wipeable tablecloth? No reason why you couldn't, Jules. No reason why you couldn't. Anything that's waterproof, okay? So there we go. Ripstop. Why is Ripstop? I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is. Can you expand that for me, please, Susan? Right. Okay. So we're going to go back over to this. So what we're going to do is, I've got plain fabric. Normally I would use batik, but I thought that we would use something different this time. So I've just used a plain fabric, and I've got 12 inches. It's an A4 size. Okay. So I went with 12 inches. I'm going to give it a quick thingy. And I've got some vinyl, and I have picked up, because I posh tart me, I have picked up the gold sparkly vinyl. Now I'm a bit worried about the vinyl going together, sticking together on the inside. So this is where I think an old umbrella or shower curtain or the ripstop, it's a waterproof fabric. Well, there we are. Or ripstop. Not that I've ever had a look. Sewing Sanctuary sell a laminated fabric. I've got some of that somewhere. So that might work as well. I was going to use it to make a wash bag, but at the moment it's just taking space in my stash. So this is going to be the back piece. Okay, I should have at least ironed all these for you. So this is going to be that there. All right, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. That's the back, and then I've got another piece. So I cut 25 inches, which is just over half a meter. But there's no reason why it has to be the same size as this. You could make it smaller. This is going to be big enough to hold 2 umbrellas. But as somebody, I think it was Anne, could have been Dave, but I think it was Anne. It doesn't need to be this big, because how many people have 2 umbrellas in their car? We normally all carry 1, don't we? So this is my vinyl. Okay, so I've picked up this vinyl. What am I doing with that? And put that over there like that. So see, it's a nice, you see it being sparkly. So it's got a gold sparkle, but you know, any vinyl will do. Hi Liz, how are you? Hi Maxine. So we need to cut my vinyl. Now I have a second pattern here. Oh, well that's handy. I've cut it that way. So we need to cut all our pieces out. Okay. So this is one of those things where I don't know whether it's better to cut the pieces out before I come or cut them out so that you can see the actual pattern. So on this, I need, have I doubled up here? I have doubled up. Let's move that out of the way. Like that. So I've got that, and I'm going to put one of these underneath. Now, because I've only printed one bit of the pattern off, I'm going to cut my biggest pieces first. You know, my widest pieces first. I think if I was at home and everything, I would have printed two. Okay, so the first bit we need is probably just vinyl. We're going to cut the front piece. Okay, so you still with me? We're going to, where is it? There we go. We're going to cut the front piece. I just moved everything now. Put it back. Now, if I cut up there like that, this is probably a Wednesday night pattern, really. Sarah tends to do a longer pattern on a Wednesday night, so that she's got the time to do these things without worrying about time restraints that we have at lunch times. So I'm just pinning this outside of my pattern, because the less holes that you have in your vinyl, the better. Okay, so longer ruler. So I'm going to cut. Now my front pocket ends here. Okay, it ends here. So I don't need such a big piece, but there we are. Ends here because you're going to slot your umbrella inside, and then it's going to drip into this vinyl-y bit here. So we're going there, like that. Hopefully that sounds like it's cut. And I'm going to open it like that. There. And then on this side, I am going to cut there. And we're going to take that bit off there, so I know exactly where my my end is. We can come off there, and we're going to come off there like that. So we can take this out and take that one out. Why hasn't that gone there? Right to there. So we can get rid of that. And that's right. Okay, so if we take this bit off like that, without moving everything, I'm just going to chop this. Now you can see why it would probably have been better for me to print this 3 times. Okay. Come on. Just, I've got too many rulers. Too many rulers. Like that. We don't want that. So we have, that's going to be our front pocket. Okay. So we're going to put that to one side by there. Then from this bit of, can I get that bit? No. Because there's the vinyl. It's going to come all the way down there. I could make that vinyl bit smaller. Couldn't I? Oh, it's millimeters smaller. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that fit on there. So we're going to pin that there and pin that there. And I'm going to follow this very, very, very faint line, which comes out here, so that you have the extra, so that when you put it all together, it's just going to stand proud, really. Right, I'm going to get rid of some of these rulers. Let's put them over here. Okay, so I'm going to take that down there, like that, and chop that off, like that, and down there. So Sarah's running around like a blue arse fly, trying to get everything ready for Sewing Street tomorrow. Right, this here we're going to bring round like that. And I want that to meet up somewhere around here. Oops, not doing it. Never have the rotary cutter coming towards you. It's probably not very round, but it'll do, Peg, it'll do. Right. Should be we want this to come to an end. We want the back piece to come to an end there. Let's use this. So I want the back piece to come to there, just so that I remember. Okay, are you still with me? So, hi Marion and Carol, hello, and Kate. We are making an umbrella thingy. Not that I have this worked out at all. I've planned it, but we've not made it. Now, will that go on there? So actually, ladies, you can make this out of a 10-inch piece. So you could make this whole thing, because I've got an extra piece. I thought I was going to need both, but you don't. So we're going to put a bit more of this under that. So I've got this, just like working at home. So like this, we're going to put this piece back on there, and I am going to cut it out. We've got it the other way around this time. Okay, where's the end? There's the end. So yes, so you only need like a 10-inch piece of fabric, with the fabric, and you'll get the front and the back out of it. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so we come into here on our thing. We've got 10 inches up the top, but you could make it smaller. If you wanted to, you can make all of this so that it only fits. This will actually fit 2 umbrellas. You only actually ever need 1, I would say. So we're going to cut across at the bottom here. We're going to go on the main bit of this, main bit of the pattern now. She's worrying now, but she's no. I think I'm right. This is coming off here like that. Oh, that moved. Okay, move the whole lot there. There we go. That's coming off there. I'm going to turn it round so that I'm working away from myself. So this is going to come off here like that. And we're going to come along there. Move the pin. You can just about see it. There we go. So apparently Sarah's got a textiles thing, a bin that we can put the textiles in. Right, we're finished with the pattern now, I think, apart from the instructions. So how we're going to build it is, this is going to be our back. Okay, so the back, I've got fabric and then I'm putting a bit of vinyl on the top. Then we are going to be putting the vinyl there. You can see, you'll be able to see now that this vinyl and fabric is slightly bigger. So that's going to sit like that. And then the other piece of vinyl, it's very difficult to find the vinyl. The other bit of vinyl is going to sit, it's about 1/2 inch bigger. So that's going to sit about there. So you got your back. Yeah, the vinyl is going to sit from about there. Okay, so that it comes around here. Now we're going to put binding across here. We're going to bind the bottom and bind the top of this. And then we're going to bind the top of that and put in a strap and clip so that it can be hung over the headrest, so to hang it out the back, in the back of your car, or in your boot, headrest in the boot. If you actually hung everything that I've ever made to go in the back, the seats would fall apart. Right, so we are going to put a pin in there because that's going to be within my binding. And I'm going to put a pin in there. This holds my my vinyl together. Okay, and we're going to bind the top and the bottom. Now I've completely cheated and brought some binding over from the shop. This is the June Taylor stuff. So it's a big binding. You don't need as big as this. You really don't. So I'm going to put that there like that. So you need about 2.5 meters of binding, 1/4 meter by width of fabric, equivalent shower curtain or something. So we're going to put those on there. I'm going to put a binding on the top. I'm going to straighten that because at the moment it's very, very whoopsie daisy. So we're just going to straighten that. We're not going to think about how it's not very straight at the bottom at all. We're not going to think about it. Right, so that's on there. We're just going to straighten it off there. It's like the Emperor's New Clothes, this, isn't it? You're not really going to be able to see the doodah. Where's my ribbon gone? So that is going to go across there like that. We're going to sew that in place. Okay, now I'm not using a Teflon foot or anything because we hopefully I am sewing on fabric. Okay, there we go. So we want a bit here, and I'm hoping that I've calculated it right and I've got enough to go all the way around the outside. I think I have. No, we want a little bit there. Okay. Right, ladies. We are going to go to the sewing machine and I'm going to sew on the binding. Like this. Now I'm going to pop a pin down here. I'm just putting this. This is going to be within. You can see how big my binding is. It's going to be within the binding, so it won't matter so much that I've put a hole in there. Okay, how are we doing? You're still with me. That's brilliant. You could get it out of a long cord. Exactly, Jean. I thought I needed 1/2 meter, but I don't. It's only a long quarter. So we're just going to edge all of these now with binding. Where am I? Number 4. Like that. So all these long quarter fabric bundles that we've made you buy, I mean you've wanted, you could actually make a load of these and sell them. Right, okay. So I don't want it there. That's just that. I want it a bit further on. That'll do. Okay. So there is a line on the foot. I am just following that so that it's fairly close to the edge, but not right on the edge. So just following that. I've left it at a normal stitch. Making sure that it's all still sitting right in there. I've left it at a normal stitch. So if you're doing this out of a shower curtain or an old umbrella or ripstop, I'm going to have to really look that up. Then I would still edge it. It gives it a bit more stability if it's edged, because this is quite wafty, really. So by sticking the binding on, it gives it a bit of rigidity. There we go. So that's our back piece. This bit is our front vinyl piece. Now, these are all over the place at the moment. You know how every now and again you get certain things that everybody suddenly brings them out. But they come in just gopping material, really, a lot of them. So I just thought this would make it a lot prettier for ourselves. There we go. That's that one. Now this one is the the middle bit really. So that needs a pin in it. Need a pin in it somewhere. Let's have a pin. Look, we can take those pins. So stick a pin in there, like that. There we go. That'll hold it all together while I sew it. Vinyl's a tricky little thing to sew, but once you've got it going, it's so versatile. You know I love a project wallet. So we're just putting the seam in here, and then we'll do the same on the top, and then we can start. Oh, it'll be all right down there. Right, this bit at the top. It's a good job I remembered now. We're just going to put a pleat in it. Where am I? Number 3. Right, see, you can see that we've edged all this. So put that to one side. Now this is the middle piece that I cut an extra inch on either side. So this needs to fit. This needs to fit this, okay? So you're going to put, it's going to be sewn edge to edge there. So this edge, let me just put a pin in both of them like that. This one here needs to also meet the edge. Am I in the right place? No, the front piece is going to come up there. So let's bring that up a bit. Up there. Right, so that has to go up there. So if we bring that over, so that fits there, and we pin that there, take that pin out, like that. Then this one here needs to come over and meet there, okay, like that. Like that. So this bit needs to be pleated. Now we're just going to leave that so that, because I forgot to do this bit, we're going to bring that one in there like that. And I'm going to bring that one over there like that. Come on. Like that. So this needs to pleat. So that'll do. Like that. There. Just like that. So that one there now needs a pin there, like that, and that one needs a pin there, like that. And we're going to put the binding, which is now too long, we're going to put the binding across there, okay? So this, where this is here, that pleat there, that pleat really, oh, look, that's not bad. It all follows on, so that's pretty cool. This bit here, it would have been better for me to pleat it beforehand, so that it's the binding went over. But I'm not going to worry about it too much. Okay, I'm gonna maybe we'll stick a stick that on there, and that on there. I might re-sew that and sew that down. There we go. Right, so if we unclip it from there, see there's a lot of holes. I should really be using clips, but we live and learn. This is something that you learn when you're doing it, you know, your prototype, but you are seeing the prototype. You are seeing how Sarah Jane's brain works. Number 4. You didn't want that. I just make sure that you're all informed. I don't make you buy anything, but long quarters are ideal. I mean, you can get so much out of a long quarter. You should see the stuff that we're putting on. Remember the long quarters, the painted C? Well, in February, we're doing a quilt kit with the painted C, and you should see it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So keep an eye on Sarah's February sewing street. We were on in February. Can't remember the date. 2nd of February? Yeah. 22nd of February, 1st of... Oh, I don't know. I can't remember now. Sarah will tell you. So we've gone over that. So we've put the fold in it, and I've bound it so that it holds that fold, which will give that bit of room for the how do I get that to go back up? I don't want that in there. Is there a thing that goes up? If I just do that, it's going to raise. There we go. I want to move that over a little bit. There we go. That's it. That's my beautiful Benina machine. You're a darling. I love the fact that it copes with all of this, and it doesn't go, I don't know whether I want to go over that much fabric. It just does it. There are bits about this machine I love. Still don't think it likes me. There we go. So I've just put another line in there just to hold it down. Okay. So here we go. Where are we? What's the time? 22. But there isn't that much to go, really. Let's go back here. We're just building it now. So this is going to go on there. So I can chop that bit off. Chop that bit off. Take those pins out. Like that. So that will go on there. Then we're going to build this. So you put it back where it reaches. Okay, like that. There. That'll do. Let's trim that off. All of this is going to disappear in binding now. That will fit. There's our template. So that goes up here. It's going to fit there, like that. And I'm going to clip that there, clip that there, and then this bit here, we're going to clip that in like this, like that, like that. Then this bit of nonsense here. Oh, you need a cam snap. Where's my cam snap go? It goes in there. So we're going to put a cam snap there. I've written male, but I'm going to put female in, I think. They're all females. No, that's it. We're going to put white because then it'll match the it'll match up. We're going to put white if I can find out how to open this bag. I don't think there is a way to open this bag, so we're going to snip off the corner. Right, I want that one, and I want one of those, and I want one of those, that one, and I want another one of them. There we go. So I'm going to stick the cam snaps in. I need this. So I want the cam snap bit. I want it on the other side. Okay. So that goes there. So I want to put that in there, roughly. That like that in there. It's going to go through both of them. We're going to snip the end off, and we're going to put the female bit in there. I think I've written male on my pattern, but we can change that. There we go. I've sat it in the cup, and we're just going to squeeze it. Now you want it so that the working bit is in the back, okay? You don't want it in the front. And then this bit here is going to sit. Let's trim it so that we can see where it sits. This bit is going to sit about there. About there. Yeah. Final's going to go about there. So we're going to just pop that in there. And you can see it's a little bit big. So we're just going to pull it across so that you've got some give in it. Okay. Like that. And that will go in there. There. So if we put that there and that there, can you see what I'm doing? My articulation is never very good. So we want that to go round and meet there. So this is designed. Oh, I want this to come down a bit, I think. Because I want a bit more at the bottom. Come here. Go down a bit more. That's straight, isn't it? So we're gonna. You want like where you've given it this room with a crease in it. This one you want to just bring along here like this. That's a pretty colour. Okay, it's lovely and warm in Sarah's house. Right, so we want this to sit in the middle here. So I'm just gonna put that in there. I'm hoping it's the middle. When you do it yourself, make sure that you've worked out your middles. Okay. There we go. So this sits proud like that. Now you're going to want to put a bit of webbing, which I should have put in before I put this bit of thingy on, but I'm just going to sew it to the back now. So you'll want a bit with a what they call D-ring. You want a bit of a D-ring here, and then another piece will come round and do that. We're running out of time. So to put it all together, you're going to take your bias, trim this off. So let's see if I can remember this. Okay, you're going to fold it down like that. And then you're going to pop you're going to pop something in somewhere. You pop that bit in there like that. Oh, see, now this I should have looked up on YouTube before I came. If you slide the other piece in there like that, and then fold it. No, do you fold? Like that. Yeah, like that, I think. In there. No, that's not going to work. I'm trying to do it so that you have the end, but I don't think it matters with this one. I don't know. You want a nice end. There is a way of doing a nice end. Think I can think about it? Nope. So we're just going to put this on here like this. There is a lot of reels going around showing you how to do this so this covers your ends and it's all tidy. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the corner off that one and it'll sit in there better like that. And we're just going to sew all the way around now. Okay, so that you can at least see what it's supposed to look like. Okay, here we go. Number 4, the sew on label on my white Gecko purse that proves my. Oh, you've put the thing on. How am I supposed to do that? I'm supposed to follow. You've got the bit that says SJ made me buy it. Yeah. We had a rep come the other day and he asked me if I'd go on the telly and I said no because I don't articulate as well as Sarah. Sarah can keep talking. I forget what I'm saying and stuff. I said, but I know you're here to sell me fabric, but if I tried, I could sell you fabric on your way out. And that's my part of the business. So that and cutting miles and miles of actual fabric. So you're going to then just bind all of this. So probably be worth going around it and clipping it in place as you go, before you go. But the trouble with binding is you could very well put it all the way around and it moves as you're sewing. Right, there we go. So we're going to take that one out there, and put that one in there. And just work our way around, making sure that you've got all your bits in. She's coming to tell me it's time. Time's up.
I was going to say, you're still going, woman.
I am still going, but it's so close to the end, Sarah. So we're just going to come down here. Like this. Now, I've used a very big, wide binding. I've used the June Taylor binding because it was there. You could probably get away with a lot skinnier binding, which would give you more room on your with your umbrella. I'm just coming around here. Now the trick to binding is to keep it taut but without stretching. Okay, like this. So I'm going to chop that there so that I can show you where I've got to, and then you can see how it's all working. Where are we? 3. So you can see now that that is going to hold your umbrella. You're going to have this bit here is going to go there. A smaller pin. I'm going to pinch these pins off, Sarah. So that's going to go there, and you are going to have your D-ring on there. Okay. So your D-ring will be on there. Like that. And then this one, I probably could have done with a slightly bigger clip. But that will, you'll sew that to there. Like that. And then this bit, I mean, you don't need as long as this, probably there. That should go in there. God, some of these pins I can't get through. This is probably a good idea to have put these on before. So that bit goes around the headrest like that. So this would hang. This would hang then from your car, and your brollies will go in there, and your vinyled in. This bit at the bottom will fold up, which will then stop all the drips coming out. Okay, I'll get that finished, and I'll put a picture up on Gigglers to show you, or it will get done next January. So that would go around there. I have got enough binding. So there you go. Done. 16th of February and the 2nd of March. Thanks, Anne. 2 sets of 10-inch. Well, there we are. Unused so far. You could have a range of umbrella holders. You could make them all for your friends for Christmas. That's okay. You are welcome. Turned it over and then sewed it so it opened up. Yeah, I've seen that one as well, Jean. And there was one where you folded it under and put it on the end so that the end ended up enclosed. And I've done it on a 1 o'clock. Think I could think about it? No, there you go. Right. Hopefully that has made sense. If you would like the scans, just let me know and I'll send them. Email me and I'll send them over, which will probably be quicker than me putting them onto the internet, but I will get them on there at some point. Have a wonderful weekend. Don't forget Sarah's on tomorrow. I think it's 8 and 10, or it could be 9 and 11. They change it. They might even change it when she arrives tomorrow. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next week. Sarah will be back on Tuesday, knackered. I'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.